You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
When you get hungry, remember Barbecue Bob.
Location is 409 Fresno Street on the corner of Fresno and Jones on the Golden West side of Fresno. The phone number is 559-375-1259, and we invite you to come out. You will not be disappointed.
Cremation and burial planning. Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your final wishes cremation or burial? The three most frequently asked questions about planning your cremation or burial plans are: 1. If my death occurred tomorrow, my funeral would be arranged by whom? 2. If my death occurred tomorrow, the money needed to pay for my funeral would come from where? And 3. If my death occurred tomorrow, I would expect my funeral to cost? Call today to set up a time to talk and pre-plan your final wishes. Call Ross Rice at 559-325-1201. Email Ross Rice at ross@riceinsbenefits.com or visit rossrice.myhomehq.biz.
Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. Just before 3 o'clock, you're watching us live right now on YouTube TV, Facebook, Instagram, and our home, CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Austin Reed. Thank you for being with us on this April the 1st, 2021. Spring is here, but it feels like summer. It is hot in Fresno today. Current temperature, it's 88 degrees. All right, joining us live via Zoom, our next guest is Baum with 5 Star Healthcare. Good afternoon.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
So what are this is super cool. We are doing a live Botox session with you. Is that right?
Yes, Brotox actually for men.
Brotox, yeah, something that I need.
Yes.
Take it away.
Well, our lovely client here, Scott, has some wrinkles that he wants to kind of smooth out. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean off his forehead. Okay. And then I'm going to mark the areas where he's concerned about, and then we'll go ahead and inject him.
Perfect. Now, would you say that more women get Botox than men, or do you see?
Well, actually, men are more trending now because they want to look good for their interviews. You know, they also realize that they want to still stay young looking and just kind of soften up those harsher lines.
You know, I totally agree. Once I hit my 30s, people started guessing that I was in my 40s. So it's a real thing, men over 30. That's for sure. How old is your subject?
How old are you? 35. Perfect age. Perfect age for some Botox, or even younger. We start even in the late 30s or late 20s, getting some what we call baby tox. So then those lines don't get so deep. The ones in between your forehead, the 11 lines, we don't want those deep lines. Once you start getting that movement, you want to do the baby tox up in kind of like a V shape to soften the lines so you don't get those deep lines.
All right, well, take it away.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. We'll have it turn here. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see it great.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to clean off his forehead. I apologize. Anthony will get mad. Okay, you can see his lines. Go ahead and frown for me. Go ahead and frown for me. Just going to mark his lines here. I apologize. My phone is moving like crazy.
No worries.
And then push up with your forehead. He's going to push up, and then you can see some of those extra lines here. One here. This side is nice and smooth, so we won't have to inject this side at all. But I think most of his movement's over here. He's had Botox in the past, so we're just kind of doing a touch-up here.
So, how long does it usually take?
It usually lasts anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
I encourage patients to come back every 3 months, so we just do a touch up and we don't start from scratch.
Okay, so now when you start from the beginning, how long is that first session usually?
Well, how long does it take? I just mark and go. It's like five minutes.
Wow, it's that fast.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long at all.
So, I mean, that was the whole, what we just witnessed, that's all it is.
I just marked him. Now I'm just going to inject him.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. All right, here comes the injection. I was like, wow. I've never had a shot in my forehead. Feel like we need some music here, you know, like da na 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 na.
We have slow music, but it was going to be too loud.
Oh, that's okay. So he just closes his eyes, right?
Yeah, and we gave him a little bit of numbing cream.
Okay.
And I also have my lovely assistant here. She has a little vibrating tool that helps with the brain.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So realistically, it doesn't really hurt.
No, because some places don't numb the patients, but here at Baum 5-Star Healthcare, we numb the patients so they can have a better experience.
Beautiful. Yeah, I would definitely want it to be numbed for sure. I'm a baby.
Okay, there you go. Just a little dab, and in about 5 minutes, those little blips will be gone.
So, why then, Monty? Why is it trending for men all of a sudden? You know, because it was always women.
Well, I think men were doing it, but they weren't telling anyone, and now we're kind of bringing it out to the open, saying it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a little bit of arnica cream. It smells good and just smooths everything out, so it helps with bruising.
And it's great that, you know, you guys are staying safe. You've got the masks on. So for people that are weary of, you know, COVID-19, you know, this can still happen.
Yes, no, we always have safe practices. We check everyone's temperatures before they come in.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
And there we go. All done, just like that.
Wow, I feel like that was less than 5 minutes. That's great.
Yes, you just come in, go on with the rest of your day.
It's that simple. It's
that simple.
So then he will be back in probably what, like you said, 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, ideally 3 months, so then I won't have to do as many units. I just did 1, 2, 3. I did 24 units. He's, like I said, he's a touch-up. Next time, if he comes in within 3 months, I probably only have to do 16 units. But when someone comes in and they've never had it, we usually, for the forehead, it's going to take anywhere from 32 to 40 units.
It is the weekend edition, the Easter weekend edition of Central Valley Talk. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Austin Reed coming to you live from our Tower District studios inside the Mike Briggs Properties building. It's Central Valley Talk. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We've got a great show ahead for you as we are all getting ready for Easter, and it's another gorgeous day across the Central Valley. Highs today in the 80s and sunny skies. I'll have your forecast for Easter coming up a little bit later, but let's get the show started. My first guest is Scotty Sample with My Time Recovery in Fresno. He's live with us in studio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So for folks out there that don't know what My Time Recovery is, can you give kind of a background story for us?
Yeah, My Time Recovery is a detox and residential treatment center. We also have outpatient services. We're a dual diagnosed adult treatment center, substance abuse, alcoholism, and mental health.
Now, how long have you guys been around for?
It's just about 3 years.
So this is pretty new.
Yeah, pretty new. Just grew fast.
It grew fast. How many patients do you serve at a time?
Right now, our census is about 90.
Wow, wow. And age group?
So we have a couple different tracks. We have a 18 to 25-year-old track, a one that's in between, and then a 30 and up track. So we tend to separate it by age.
What was the reason for My Time Recovery? How did it get started?
When I was growing up, I started going to treatment, 14, 15, 16, and quite a few in my early 20s. And I always had to go out of town for treatment. There wasn't a ton of options locally. And so when I finally got sober and I started helping people, it ended up being my passion to... I had a lot of experience in treatment, and so I wanted to bring something to the community like I experienced when I would go out of the area for treatment.
And you are born and raised in Clovis, right?
Yeah.
So you're a local kid.
Yep. Went to Clovis West High School.
You did? Very good, very good.
Took a little detour for a little bit.
What has recovery done for your life?
I mean, it's totally night and day difference, you know. It's given me a family, right? It's put me in a position to use a lot of my pain and suffering I put myself through, my parents through, but it's given me an opportunity to use it for good. And the life I have today, because of recovery, because of the community, it's a life that I never thought was possible for somebody that struggled as bad as I did.
For the people out there that are struggling, whether it's alcohol, drugs, mental health problems, why is it so important for them to take a step back and get into My Time Recovery, for instance?
I mean, I had so many spots in my life where I had no hope, and for somebody that's struggling, a lot of them, you know, their perception of what treatment is, it might be what they see in a movie, like a hospital, but there's so much more in the recovery process that once you start, you learn to get comfortable in your own skin, you have fun sober, so it makes the surrender process a lot easier for someone to actually believe, like, man, I think I could do this.
And we were talking just before the interview today. One of the things that makes My Time really, really cool is you guys really like to serve teens that are struggling. Because a lot of places, they only accept adults, not you guys.
Yeah, well, so at My Time Recovery, it's 18 to 25.
Oh,
and
okay.
then we do Touchstone Recovery too, which is mostly adolescents. At My Time, there's so many, the epidemic, right, has totally hit this younger crowd, especially with the opioid epidemic, the fentanyl. Mm-hmm. And so much when an 18-year-old, 19-year-old get to the point where they have to make this decision to get clean, they think their life is over. And so our approach is teaching these young men, women to, you know, empower their hobbies, learn to have fun sober, be comfortable in their own skin, so the doctors and the therapists could do their job what they went to school for. And so that combination, it makes for the best chance, I believe, for somebody to experience recovery and happiness and get the life that I have.
Well, and it's great that My Time is here. It's serving Fresno, all of Central California, because I think a lot of people, you know, if they are struggling and they think, oh, I need to get into treatment, but there's no options locally, they may not get into treatment. Do you see that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, before we were here, there were so many people that might have just not gone to treatment. I mean, we have 90 clients. We've been up to 100, 110, but we weren't here before. And so I feel like what we created was a resource for people that weren't necessarily going to treatment to be like, yeah, no, I think I could do this. This is here. And so I feel like we've made a huge impact on the community providing this service.
You know, one of the things that we are seeing across the country, here in Fresno as well, is with the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people are struggling. They are getting into drugs. They are getting into alcohol. They're experiencing mental health problems. Have you guys seen an increase in patients?
Most definitely. We've had a major increase in clients coming into treatment because on their intake assessments, on their biopsychosocials, they're voicing that they relapsed or their disease progressed once the start of COVID-19. The worst maybe thing for an addict is isolation. And so our census started climbing and climbing as the pandemic, started getting worse.
So yeah, it's been a big help for those people as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. On the positive side of it, it's given a lot of people the opportunity to surrender, right? Because the isolation brought them to that bottom point for them. And so a lot of people have gotten sober during this pandemic.
You know, another thing I want to bring up is a lot of your staff have experience with addiction, and whether they're an addict or they know somebody that was or is today even, does that help your clients working with people that really know how difficult it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of AOD counselors, substance abuse counselors tend to be in recovery and have changed their lives. We have client advocates that are more the staff that build the rapport, right? So when somebody that's suffering or struggling, they have that person that they could relate to. And then on the other side of our, it balances the clinical, right? The therapists that maybe don't have personal experience, but they're addressing more of the mental health and the clinical side. And then you have the medical, the psychiatrists that are working with maybe some medications, so that combination that somebody feels when they come into the program, that's like everything an addict and a alcoholic might need to accept their journey and feel the love to get the help they need.
We've got just a couple minutes left. I want to talk about the process. How long is somebody in recovery, and what are some of the other things that you guys do to help men and women, younger, older, whoever?
I mean, recovery is a long-lasting, thing. When somebody comes into our program, they usually start with detox, and then inpatient, and then outpatient services. But our recovery community has grown so strong, I would say, especially since my time has been here, that it makes it so easy to get involved in the process and learning to have fun sober, building a community, a sense of purpose. Recently, we have been getting clients, from all over the country, New Jersey, Texas, Ohio. And so Fresno now has this really nationally known recovery community that people are traveling here for to seek out our recovery community. So it's pretty amazing, the transformation that's happened.
Yeah, that's incredible. What's the future for My Time? 5 years from now, where do you want to be?
I honestly, it's just I want to be the home base for my hometown, right? And I don't focus so much on growing My Time. It's growing our recovery community, so we have this destination for people that are seeking treatment and a sober life.
Tell us your website, phone number, and are you accepting new patients right now?
Yeah, we're always accepting new patients. It's mytimerecovery.com. Our phone number is 559-293-4387. It could be a family that just needs advice or somebody that's struggling. We're always going to do it from the heart and try to point anybody that's in need in the right direction.
All right, very good. Scotty Sample, owner, founder, My Time Recovery. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Austin Reed. You're watching Central Valley Talk. We're back with more in just a bit. Hang tight.
When you get hungry, remember Barbecue Bob.
Location is 409 Fresno Street on the corner of Fresno and Jones on the Golden West side of Fresno. The phone number is 559-375-1259, and we invite you to come out. You will not be disappointed.
Cremation and burial planning. Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your final wishes cremation or burial? The three most frequently asked questions about planning your cremation or burial plans are: 1. If my death occurred tomorrow, my funeral would be arranged by whom? 2. If my death occurred tomorrow, the money needed to pay for my funeral would come from where? And 3. If my death occurred tomorrow, I would expect my funeral to cost? Call today to set up a time to talk and pre-plan your final wishes. Call Ross Rice at 559-325-1201. Email Ross Rice at ross@riceinsbenefits.com or visit rossrice.myhomehq.biz.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
There's a lot of people out of work right now. I mean,
Absolutely.
good people.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault.
Absolutely.
You're saying people could sign on with you?
We're actually solar's been actually deemed an essentials.
Okay.
There's no shutdown here. The rates are extremely high here in the California region.
Rates?
Yeah. If you care about savings, if you care about changing the environment, if you care about building the value in your home, we're doing things in a fast pace, around 7 days install. We're looking for people to grow with us. February 24th. We're looking for talented people to kind of go out and educate customers to make the smartest decision.
Solar's the place to be right now.
Solar is the place to be right now. No one is just coming, just giving them any price and any number. We want to make it make sense.
It is 2:34, April Fools. It's not 12:34, it's 2:34. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We're live on this April Fool's Day. Happy April. Can you believe that? The fourth month of 2021. Another hot day, a sizzling day in Fresno. 87, our forecasted high. We'll be hitting that probably very soon as we're getting closer to the 4 or 5 o'clock hour. I am Austin Reed. Thank you for being with us. Hit me up on Facebook, Austin Reed on Air. Also on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Give me a follow if you're on TikTok. So real quick, later today, I'm going to post my third TikTok video. And we have a mascot here at Central Valley Talk, okay? His name is George. He's a tortoise. Jack, did you know that we have a tortoise here? No. Okay, I'll show him to you after.
He went by so fast I didn't see him.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna post a video of George later today on my TikTok. So there's a little tease for you. Jack is joining us. One of the best personal trainers in all of Central California.
Thank you.
Is that a good introduction?
Sure. I was the first personal trainer in Fresno.
Yeah.
1985.
1985. So you've been
Right.
doing this. You have some years on you.
35 years.
It is spring now. Summer is coming up, and I know for a lot of us, I mean, I'm already stressing about going to the pool because I'm out of shape.
Right.
I've gained a lot of weight during this pandemic. I'll work out. I'll be really good at it for like 3 weeks or a month, and then I just stop. And then it takes me another 3 months to get back into it. So it's
Right.
like, I'm wasting my time, really. And we were talking about that just before our interview today. But what kind of suggestions do you have for people as the hot weather is here and we're going to be out and about? And we all want to feel good as we can.
Right. Okay, so it's a three-pronged approach to get into shape and stay in shape. Resistance training, weight training, cardio, the kind that helps you burn fat and maintain your muscle, and proper nutrition. And I counsel my clients in all three of those. And it's consistency with all of those that makes the body come to the party. Okay? If you do a little of this for a few days and a little of that for a few days, and body says, I don't see any consistency, so I'm just going to kind of do what I want. Okay? And as he was talking about, well, I did it for a month and then I stopped. Well, when you employ someone like myself, and if you don't show up, it costs you money. Okay? So you want to show up. And once you do, you feel better, look better. We do what we need to do today. We do what we need to do tomorrow. The weeks, the months, and the years take care of themselves. I've been weight training since 1961. I was 2 years old. No, I was 11. Okay, and my cousin Pete took me to see Hercules with Steve Reeves in it, and I was like, wow, that was like a life-changing situation. So I've been weight training since I was 11. And
that was 1961.
Yeah, Harold Zinkin's Universal Health Spa. Yes, and Dwayne Zinkin showed me around.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he said, well, do 3 sets of 15 reps here. And I was sure, okay. I was embarrassed to say I didn't know what a set was. Okay, so you need to get someone to help you that has knowledge and who can help you get into it step by step by step. You don't get into shape in 1.3 seconds. Mm-hmm. It takes consistency. And depending on the shape of the people, and some of my people are a little bit older, and I've got this issue, I've got a shoulder issue, I've got knee issue. Well, we know how to work around that. When you work through it, it just aggravates the area. Okay, so the idea is to get that area to heal and get stronger and still achieve your goals. And we'll have some fun doing it too.
So if I'm doing the math right, you are 71 years old.
70.
You're 70.
I'll be 71 in June.
In June. And you look fantastic. And it's not just your tone, but it's your face. You just look way younger.
Thank you.
Is that due to treating your body right?
Right. That's a healthy lifestyle. I guess I have decent genetics, I guess. And it's, here a while back, I used to have an occasional cocktail, go on vacation or go out for dinner and maybe a little dessert once in a while. And I'd wake up the next morning and my face was puffy and my tummy was puffy. And that's my body telling me, okay, you've been able to do that till now. Now, if you like how you look and you like how you feel, keep doing that. Otherwise, make a smarter choice. So we have to do what works for us at the age we are. As we get older, our body is less inclined to be as resilient. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I never had to do that before. Well, yeah, but you were younger. You go see the doctor. That's the first thing out of their mouth. out of their mouth. Well, you are getting older, and you had to bring it up, okay? You had to bring it up. Yes, but you know, I still compete in bodybuilding, and I just in October I won my class at the Masters Nationals for the second time, and I won my professional bodybuilder's card. So I'm going to be in the old fogey class. Yes, you know.
But you don't see. But you're not. You don't seem it.
Oh, good.
At all. Now, okay. I mean, summer technically isn't until June.
Right.
It's April 1st now. If somebody signs up with you, right? Maybe they've got my kind of body. I mean, I've got a tummy. And I'm not very strong. How long would it take you to get me in shape?
So it's April 1st. So April, May, June. By time June rolls around, if you're doing the right nutrition and you're doing the right workout and the cardio and you're not snaking the bonbons at the end and so on and so forth, when you do the right stuff, the body will come to the party. And part of that is predicated on what your particular genetics are, how quickly or not so quickly your body responds. But I will teach you proper form, proper focus, because you're not there to lift the weight. You're there to work the muscle. Okay. I've had people say, well, you know, I worked out and then I hurt my shoulder and then I was off for 2 months and I got back in and then I hurt my shoulder. Well, that basically means their form was not right. Okay, so I have a fellow that I'm working with right now, and that was his pattern. Well, now, you know, his physique has blossomed, his mentality has blossomed, which is one of the most wonderful things about what I do. When you see people just, they come alive. You know, it's addictive. I still have a passion for this after 35 years. Okay, I'm not like, okay, let's go over here. You know,
you're excited to change people's
because
lives.
I can see what they, and then people get in touch with that excitement, and they go home and starting to see a little separation here, and their tummy is a little smaller, and they got a little more zip in their step. You know, I drive a Corvette. Okay, well, if I want to continue to drive a Corvette, I'm going to keep working so I can get my butt out of the seat.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's important.
And pay for it too, you know.
Right.
It's all about, you know, if you're doing good things, you're making money, you're succeeding, and then you throw in and you're looking good and you're feeling good.
Right.
What else do you need?
Yeah, that's great.
You know?
And you know, it's a lot of fun to go to your next high school reunion and they're going, well, what happened to you? You look great. You know.
Talk a little bit about you know, as far as, you know, your sessions. How long are they?
Sessions are about an hour. And again, when you come see me, we sit down, we talk about your goals and what you would like to achieve with yourself. It's not my goals for you, it's your goals for you. Because I bodybuild doesn't mean I'm going to make everybody I train a bodybuilder. But if I can do this to this old body, then I can help you with your goals. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you set about creating it. If the mind can visualize it, the body can achieve it. It's fabulous. Okay?
And I love too this is, you know, I never really thought of this until you pointed out, you know, I mean, I need somebody like you because, you know, I've got weights at home, but nobody's forcing me to do it.
Right.
You know, when you have a personal trainer, like you said, you know, you have to be paid. You show up at the gym, they don't show up. That's their problem.
Right.
You still get paid out of their paycheck, you know? So I think for people that are struggling with going to a gym, paying $100 a month and never going, having a few weights at home, never doing it, this, you know, getting a trainer, working with yourself that'll do it. I mean,
yes. And we not only become client and trainer, we usually become friends as well. And I can, you know, I've been doing this long enough. I can tell what's going on. If you need to raise your chest or whatever in order to, you know, my shoulder's hurting. Okay, well, your chest is too low and your shoulders are too much forward. And so that's not, you don't have that ability when you're home by yourself. So I consider myself a teacher as well as a trainer. So I see trainers go, more, more, more. I don't usually say more, more, more. I say, okay, I want you to focus extra hard. Think right here. I'll use my fingertips to cue the muscle. Think here. Okay, so now you're in control. And if the trainer is just a rah guy, come on, more, 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 then you can end up hurting yourself. When you're younger, you know, your joints and things, they're a little more resilient. As we get old, it's really important to maintain proper form. You know, and then the physique you get is a direct reflection of how you train. The chest and the shoulders and the back and the legs, they're all balanced. They fit together. So you don't mind going out by the pool. Yes. And that also doesn't mean you can't ever have a burger or you can't ever do this. I give my clients, when they're on the program, I give them one meal a week. Whatever they want.
Okay, a cheat day.
Plan it, look forward to it, whatever. But up to that and after that, you're back on the plan.
So you work with people on eating healthier as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't exercise enough to undo poor eating habits.
Right.
Yeah. And it doesn't got to be mung beans and alfalfa sprouts. Okay, it's, you know, normal food, but it's the right choice. It's what you eat, when you eat, and how much you eat. Okay, even really clean food, if you eat too much of it, is going to be too much. And I have my clients eat something every 3 hours. I have them say, oh, if I eat every 3 hours, it'd be big as a house. Well, how many times you eat today? Oh, 1 or 2. Well, you know, you're 30, 40 pounds overweight. So how well is that working for you? Okay, so the right timing, the right nutrients, and the right spacing.
Okay.
The body is much more efficient at burning those calories, and if it needs a little bit of energy, it'll take it from here or wherever, because it knows from experience that you're going to feed it something every 3 hours.
See, and I'm really bad at that. I eat a ton at night.
Right.
I mean, it's
and then
just
you go
ridiculous.
To bed.
And then I go to bed.
Right.
So I'm not even working that out.
Right.
Burning it off. Oh man. All right.
See, and if you are eating those pre-planned meals during the day, when you get home, you know, you eat like this. When you're starving, you eat like that.
Right. Exactly.
And you make poor choices. When the body is starving, it goes for high calorie, high sugar, high fat, and the body doesn't really know high calorie food from low calorie food. It knows empty from full.
Right.
Okay, so if we choose the righter choice, the more correct choices, so low fat proteins, low glycemic carbohydrates, and green vegetables and things like that, then it's a very healthy way to do. And next thing you know, I feel better. My energy is up, you know, and I don't eat that great big meal full of fats and sugars, and then I feel so low, you know.
Right. It makes a big difference.
Oh, it does.
We've got about a minute left.
Okay.
Do you work with men, women, any age groups?
Yeah.
Anybody?
You betcha.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
and, you know, everyone has their own particular station in life, time in life. So I take that into account. Again, whatever your history is, what you want to achieve, and we find if I have a space in my schedule and you have a space, then we fit you in there. And right now, I am training my clients at Gil Roberts one-on-one personal training at Herndon and Blackstone.
Herndon and Blackstone.
Right behind the Motel 6 and the Good Guys right there. It's strictly a one-on-one personal training facility. Very nice.
Beautiful. What's your phone number?
559-905-0933. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay, and then you've got a website as well?
Yes, jackscowfitness.com.
jackscowfitness.com.
Yeah, and my email is jackscow@aol.com.
Perfect.
Yes.
Great advice.
Great.
And let's get as, I don't know if any of us are going to be as fit as you, but
Oh, sure. You know, like I like to say at the end of the interviews, come see me. Come to the gun show.
I
okay?
love it.
Come see me. I won't have you do a bicep unless you want to. Okay?
Don't come to this gun show.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get anywhere.
There we go.
Thanks, brother.
Take
Good to
care,
meet you.
everyone.
All right, we're back with more Central Valley Talk right after this. Hang tight. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, the weekend edition. We're broadcasting live right now on YouTube TV, Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, our home, CentralValleyTalk.com. Look at that bunny. Hello, bunny. How are you? Thanks to my director, Michael, for pulling the strings. You know, Easter is a huge, huge holiday. And if you are looking for a great, great service to check out, I have just the idea for you, as Easter is tomorrow. Joining us live via Zoom right now is Pastor Brad with People's Church in Fresno. Hi, Pastor.
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Happy early Easter.
Happy early Easter.
So tell me, what do you guys have planned for tomorrow? And before that, I know that you guys have already been doing some Good Friday events, so you've been busy.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot. We yesterday had a Good Friday communion gathering, had scores of people at that. And then last night we had what's called a spring fling, kind of our version of an Easter egg hunt this year. Had Easter eggs and stuff for the family and kids and superheroes and Easter bunnies and food trucks. So we did all that last night. Tonight at 6 and tomorrow morning at 9 and 11, we have our online options. So if people want the online gathering and don't feel comfortable coming out or are unable to for some reason, they can do that. That's Saturday at 6, Sunday morning at 9 and 11. Tomorrow on property, we have actually a sunrise service or a sunrise gathering. That's completely different than the other gatherings. I'll actually be doing that one. So at 7:30, we're in a tent outside, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to connect with people and celebrate Jesus being risen. And then we have we're calling it a COVID-friendly free continental breakfast. I think I said that right. But right after that outdoor gathering, there'll be a continental breakfast that's free to everyone, COVID-friendly, meaning all individual areas. And then we have our Easter gatherings at 9 and 11, and those are in the auditorium and the G.L. Johnson Chapel. And yeah, that will be our main Easter gatherings at 9 and 11. Pastor Dale will be speaking, and those are always huge, wonderful gatherings.
Now, you guys are located on Cedar, kind of near Herndon and Alluvial. Is that right?
Right. Yep, absolutely. We're everybody kind of says at times we're on Cedar and Herndon. We're not on Herndon, but we're on Cedar. So if you kind of turn right there and you're off of Herndon onto Cedar, you'll see us right away there. right there. And yep, exactly that. Cedar between Herndon and Alluvial.
And it's super, super cool because you guys have been working on a beautiful, gorgeous new building. Talk about that.
Yeah, here about 4 years ago, we started the process. 3 years ago, we jumped into it hard, meaning having gone through all the permitting and things like that. We moved a 450-ton building, the G.L. Johnson Chapel, so that it could be more prominent on our property. And then we reoriented the entire property to face Cedar. So we've done all of that, changed the entrance, the roads there. In addition to all of that, built a 40,000 square foot building, so an additional building, and that houses our new lobby area, which has cafe and a lot of different things in it, as well as a 2-story children's building. So the children's building will open later this summer, and the lobby actually opens on April 18th. So here in a couple of weeks, the lobby will be open, and we're all real excited at People's Church to get into this.
You know, I want to talk about this last year, obviously, has been one for the record books due to COVID-19. This Easter, what is the message?
Obviously Easter is always number one, focusing our attention on Jesus, the eternal, not just the temporary, the reality that Jesus Christ went through what he went through for us to have eternal life in him. Sometimes we get kind of hung up on the temporary and lose sight of the big picture. So it's always that. In addition, with all of the COVID activity of the last year, I think Jesus also very much represents new beginnings. I mean, so many of us have, failure, difficulty, hardship, whatever those failures and difficulties may be in our past, including a year like this, which is so, COVID dominated and so many people struggling, not only in the area of finances or things like that, but the emotional, the mental, the depression, all the things that have come out of the social distance, kind of elements of things and being, kind of put in a box a little bit. And so I think this Easter, maybe more than any in my life, I'm 51, is all of those eternal things are still real, but there's something very real, very dynamic about coming out, being together and saying, hey, it's a new day. It's not just spring. We're not just going into summer. It's not just that, but Jesus Christ brings a new day as well. And so we've already seen record attendance, like I said, at our Good Friday communion gathering, and really expecting to see some significant crowds even tomorrow, because I think people are really, especially people of faith, or people, looking for an answer. This Easter season brings a lot of answers.
Well, especially with last Easter, I mean, COVID was just blowing up. So, I mean, it's, and I think we all have to thank, Jesus for getting us through this time, right? I mean,
100%. There's no question that there has been a lot of difficulties, hardships, catastrophe. I mean, nobody's minimizing that at all. But we've really started internally at People's Church calling it the blessing of COVID, almost like mentally to lock into that. And that is very much due to the fact that there's a lot of things that have come out of COVID that probably never would have had we not had COVID, meaning the COVID experience. For example, at People's Church, we immediately went into what we thought was a couple weeks, if everybody remembers, when all this started, it was a couple weeks just to flatten the curve, and then whatever, here we are 15 months later, still living in this.
Yeah.
In some ways, obviously some easing of it prayerfully, but still in some ways. But we started a whole called PC Cares I Love My City program, and in that window of time, just in that one program that was completely unbudgeted, completely unplanned, the day we really got notification that we were going to shut down in mid-March last year, that everybody was, we started putting together some plans. And honestly, at People's Church, one of the things I'm most proud of is we have served over 1 million hot meals in this window of time. We've started an ongoing ministry. Now every Tuesday on property, there's a full grocery store type experience that's completely free. There's a full clothing experience that's completely free. We've got a new trailer showing up actually this coming Monday or Tuesday to be able to go into more or less fortunate parts of our community, everything from medical to food. And so the amount of blood drives that we have seen happen at People's Church, and the meal ministry and the clothing ministry and book ministries, honestly, you could almost kind of say we probably should have been doing that all along, but it took something like COVID to go, hey, you guys need to get your act together, and not just these other things, but do this stuff. And so for us, it's really been on many levels. There's been a certain amount of this that has been a blessing.
You know, for people that are maybe on the line as far as looking at God, talking to God, experiencing the Christian religion, would you welcome them to your service tomorrow?
100%. People's Church has always had, like I've said, I've been here 8 years. I know Pastor Dale, our lead pastor, has been here 11 years. And I could speak to, I think, forever, but especially this last window. Our motto very much is, come exactly as you are. We welcome everybody. So the concept that says, hey, I've always seen everybody has a suit and tie and Easter dress and my kids, and I don't have that stuff. Come in your shorts. We truly don't care. Okay. You're going to probably see some people in shorts. You're going to see some people in black suits, and you're going to see probably some ladies in their Easter dresses. And truth of the matter is Jesus modeled really, really clear. It's not what you look like on the outside that matters. And so we don't spend any time focusing on that. Frankly, we have a lot of people that attend regularly that have yet to even step across the line of faith. They're trying to figure this stuff out. And so one of the things we just say a lot is, let's just take this journey together wherever we're all at. And so maybe I'm somebody who's known the Lord for a long time. I've been a Christian. It's all I've known. Truth matters. I got a long ways to go and a lot to learn. You might be newer to that journey and still trying to figure it out. So let's just, come take the journey together. We're in it together.
All right. So one quick reminder for everybody tomorrow. How can they learn more, and what time's the services again?
Go to our website, www.peopleschurch.org. Obviously, all the information's there, or our Facebook page or Instagram page. A lot of information there, obviously. But our online gatherings are tonight, Saturday night at 6, and Sunday morning at 9 and 11. Our in-person activities tomorrow are our sunrise service in the tent on the North Field at 7:30. We'll help you with that. Just get to the property, we'll get you there. But at 7:30 a.m. and then our main Easter gatherings are at 9 and 11. And there is that free continental breakfast between the sunrise service and the first gathering.
COVID-friendly as well.
COVID-friendly, free, continental. There's 4 words. I always screw them up.
That's okay. Yeah, say that 10 times fast.
Exactly.
Pastor Brad, happy Easter. Thank you for joining us. And we'd love for you to come back on, say, like around April 15th, April 16th, right before the April 18th kind of expansion party. I guess it's what you'd call it, right?
You got my contact information. I already told you I'll get you buy you coffee and lunch. All you got to do is let me know where and when, and I'll even show up down there by you next time.
Perfect. I love it. Pastor Brad, thank you so much, and happy Easter.
Yeah, God bless. Happy Easter.
God bless you. Bye-bye. I'm Austin Reed. We'll be back with more of Central Valley Talk, the weekend edition, coming up in just a bit. Hang tight.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Cremation and burial planning. Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your final wishes cremation or burial? The 3 most frequently asked questions about planning your cremation or burial plans are: 1. If my death occurred tomorrow, my funeral would be arranged by whom? 2. If my death occurred tomorrow, the money needed to pay for my funeral would come from where? And 3. If my death occurred tomorrow, I would expect my funeral to cost? Call today to set up a time to talk and pre-plan your final wishes. Call Ross Rice at 559-325-1201. Email Ross Rice at ross@riceinsbenefits.com or visit rossrice.myhomehq.biz.
us live. Our first guest today, this is Cambrea Horn-McNair. Am I saying that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Welcome.
Hyphenated.
Hyphenated. Yeah. That's all good. That's all good. You are with Certainly Soaps.
Yes.
Now, are you based in the Tower District?
I am not based in the Tower District, but Tower Blends carries our products, so we do have some of our products there at Tower Blends,
which is amazing.
Yes.
I love their. How do you say? Is it acai?
Acai.
Acai.
Yes.
So good. That's where I found you, actually.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, shout out to them.
Yes, definitely.
I want to start with the story of Certainly Soaps. Kind of from the beginning, and also let's start that actually with your background.
Okay. So I'm born and raised here in Fresno. I went to Fresno City College. I played volleyball there. I did receive scholarships, so I moved away to Southern California, played some volleyball there, got a job in corporate America there, and it was at that point that I decided, okay, I want to get into event planning. This is like my thing. You know, I'm very good at this. I'm very organized. I'm very detail oriented, so I felt that it would be a great fit for me.
Sure.
So moving forward, I kind of slowly took a path into event planning, and then finally a couple years, probably a year or so after having my daughter, I started my own event planning company. And so my husband is from the East Coast, and so at that time we were living in New York. And so recently, I'd say probably we're going on 2 years now, we relocated back to Fresno. And so over that time that I spent there in New York, I really kind of built up my event planning business. And I was very excited to bring it back here to the Central Valley just because this is my home. And I found myself traveling here a lot because a lot of my clients were people who knew me. And so I was excited to bring my event planning company here to the Central Valley. But very shortly after we moved, the pandemic happened. And it was one of those situations where I really had to go back to the drawing board because even though I was an established event planner coming into a new area, a new location, new vendors, new venues, you know, I have to be able to get out there and, you know, kind of work the crowd, work the scene, find new clientele, generate new relationships with other event planning companies. And, you know, so after that, after I realized, okay, there aren't going to be any events happening, there aren't going to be any weddings or anything like that, it really kind of put me in a place of like limbo. Like, okay, what do I do now moving forward? You know, people are doing the yard, you know, the drive-by baby showers and things like that. But for me, one of my biggest things about event planning was giving the clients an experience, because I always say it, and I will say it now, even with Certainly Soap, you know, an experience is everything. And sometimes people don't have time to focus on all of those little details. And so for me as an event planner, that was something that brought me joy, because then when the client sees the final outcome, they're so excited. They get to celebrate whatever special occasion they're sharing. And that, you know, that was a big thing for me. So I wanted to do something. I said, you know what if I just start making something? Something I can do on the side that's, you know, not gonna, you know, be a lot of work on my end, and that will still allow me to be creative because I'm very hands-on. So I needed to be doing something with my hands. And literally, it sounds silly, Austin, but I was in the bathtub. And I said, you know what? I'm having a good time. Like, I've got my bath salts, I got my candles. And in that moment, I kind of thought to myself, in the middle of this pandemic, I know that there's a lot of people that are spending a lot of time at home.
Yes.
And I think that very often we neglect our self-care routines just because life is so busy. And so in that moment, I was like, I want to give this experience back to the experience that I'm having right now to everybody. And how do I do that? And it literally started with a single bar of soap that I had purchased from somewhere else. And then I thought, well, maybe I could start with the soap. And I just dove headfirst into it. And I was just amazed by the soap making process and the benefits and how much better, you know, handmade soap is compared to the things that we're using.
Yeah, like Dove or those.
Yes,
kind of,
yes, definitely.
Okay, see that, and that's fascinating. Your story is fascinating, I think, and this is something that's happened to a lot of people in the pandemic, where they're doing something, especially in the event world, and when it just kind of dies, you have to scramble and figure out what else can I do.
Exactly.
And, I haven't interviewed anybody yet that said I was in the bathtub and I thought this is what I'm doing.
You
next.
know, inspiration strikes at any moment. At any moment, you never know.
I love it. So, talk about your soaps and certainly soaps. Let's hear about that.
Okay, so when I decided that I wanted to get into soap making, I knew that I wanted to create a product that was as natural as possible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then how do I do that the best way? So all of our products are, of course, handmade in small batches. Everything is made with either organic or all natural ingredients. We do have some products that use essential oils, so they're completely 100% natural. And then we have some products that do have fragrances in them, but where we source the fragrances, they come from a very good place that are very well tested, and they make sure that there are no harsh chemicals or parabens or anything like that in it. And so that's pretty much it. Our soaps, we are a soap company, but we do have a small little intimate collection of other items because as an athlete, I said there's no way I'm doing this without using bath salts. So we do have bath salts that are also hand mixed.
Wow.
And then one of our most popular items is our body souffle, which is like a take on body butter.
Okay.
Our take on body butter, and it has been extremely popular. And that is simply just 5 different oils and butters that I've chosen and found the perfect recipe and whipped them up to perfection. So that's our product offering. But back to the soaps, we have a wide range of soaps, and it's funny because over time, you know, you kind of started with a couple, and I got a good response from there, and then I kind of added a couple more to the product line and kind of got a good response from there. So we're growing definitely with our products as well. And of course, again, we're a soap company, so the majority of our products are soaps.
The benefits, I mean, go into more detail about why it's so important to use certainly soaps rather than something you just buy for a couple bucks at the store.
Okay, so everything that I believe, most things, I won't say everything, most things that are made by hand are usually made almost to perfection. You have an artisan, someone like me, that's really taking time into what they're doing and the art of what they're doing as well. But the ingredients of the soap is very important. We use something called the cold process method, which is literally simply taking oils and butters, a lye concentration that's mixed with water and then mixed.
Manhood.